Let's get nuts.
What better way than come back than to start reviewing some scary movies? You know, it's the spooky season. You know, grab a blanket and, you know, get your little pumpkin spice, whatever, and just, you know, get scared. Yeah, this movie didn't really scare me, though. The Exorcist Believer, starring Leslie Odom Jr. What the hell is her name? Ellen Burstyn. She was the old lady in Interstellar. Dope. When his daughter, Angela, and her friend, Catherine, show signs of demonic possession, it unleashes a chain of events that forces single father Victor Fielding to confront a... What? Oh, guys, I'm reading this straight from Google. Confront the nadir of evil. Terrified and desperate, he seeks out Chris McNeil, the only person alive who's witnessed anything like it before. Let's start with the positives of this movie. By far, this movie is the best sequel in the series. Exorcist has a number of sequels. You have Exorcist 2, The Heretic, Exorcist 3, Legion. You have the 2000s movies with Exorcist the prequel, and then Dominion, and I think the ones in the 2005, 2004 are just unwatchable. They're boring. They're not really scary at all. But this one by far is the best sequel in the franchise. Well, second to that Fox show, The Exorcist, that the first season was really good, tied to the movie, and the second season was kind of dumb. But I digress. We're talking about this movie. This movie was directed by David Gordon Green, who was the person to revamp the Halloween franchise. Halloween being basically the only watchable one in that franchise. But yeah, I think he caught the vibe of what The Exorcist, the original one, really did. It makes it eerie. He had a bunch of these random shots, you know, quick cuts, you know, putting those random faces into those edits. When this trailer first dropped and I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. They have 2 possessed girls, not just one, but 2. And one of them is black. I might be ignorant, but I think this is the first time I've ever seen a little black possessed girl on anything. If I'm wrong, you know, tell me in the comments, but I think I was excited. I was excited to see how they're going to tackle it, you know, being with the cultures, you know, black culture versus white culture being possessed. They didn't really tackle that in this movie at all. It's kind of just like a normal, you can switch her out with any kind of race and it would still just be the same story. But it was kind of cool to see it, you know, a person like me getting possessed, because, you know, it's a stigma in the black community. Like, this ain't going to happen. This is, you know, we got Jesus on our side. That's for sure. They had this one specific scare that I made a note of that it was so good. I'm a guy who loves jump scares. I'm not going to spoil it, but you'll know what I'm talking about. It's like a pure mixture of a subtle scare and a jump scare. It's a jump scare because it's a quick cut, but it's subtle because there's no like music happening. It's just like a little noise that this thing makes. And it was so well done. And I was really like, that really got me hyped. I was like, oh, this is going to be that kind of movie where the subtles and the jumps are kind of combined into one, kind of like a Haunting a Hill House situation or something like that. But no, I was kind of left flat. So let's get into the negatives of this movie. And there are many. Not many. There's some. The first half, to me, is more interesting than the second half. The first half, to me, was so interesting, seeing that the dynamic between the father's backstory, Aaron... I was called Aaron Burr.
Pardon me, are you Aaron Burr, sir? Who are you? Aaron Burr, sir.
Leslie Odom's backstory and his connection between his daughter, and just kind of seeing that relationship, and then having, you know, her be lost and things like that, and had from his perspective of this movie, they kind of set it up as like this weird, like, I don't want to spoil it or anything. It's like these girls might have gone to hell, but they don't really touch on that at all. It was like one little line that someone says, I'm just like, oh, that's interesting. And then nothing. Does nothing. Nothing plays out from it. It was thought provoking, and then it kind of just feels flat. Second half of this movie is just your typical possession girls exorcist movie. They don't really do anything to separate themselves from their predecessor, the first Exorcist, or The Conjuring, or The Possession, or any movie where a little white girl is possessed. Not to mention that, like I mentioned, Ellen Burstyn, I think that's how I pronounce her name, she's in this movie. She don't really do nothing. I mean, she gets something done to her that doesn't really affect this movie whatsoever, other than I think to set up the next one, because I think the director said he's already setting up a trilogy, which, okay, if this movie doesn't make money, which sadly, I don't know if it will. They had another cameo. You can probably guess who it was. And, that was fun to see, but again, I think it's just setting up for the next one. I think it was just okay. I've seen scarier possession films. I love The Exorcist. The Exorcist is one of my favorite movies. And I saw it late in life. I saw it probably in college. I watched it, turn off the lights in my dorm room, watched it, scared the hell out of me. That I still get nightmares from that random cutaway of that white face. This one, creepy, eerie, yes. They kind of fell flat on having two possessions. I thought it'd be double the fun. Overall rating for this movie, Leslie Odom Jr., always going to be a star. They missed the mark on bringing back Ellen Burstyn. Two girls, it's still meh. I'm going to give this movie a solid 6 out of 10. Just a flat 6 out of 10. If you see an Exorcist Believer, leave a comment. Tell me what you thought of it. If you liked it, say you liked it. If you didn't, say you didn't. I love to have a conversation with you guys. But also remember to like and share this movie. And if you're new to the channel, you're just seeing this, you're a very Halloween person. I love Halloween too. Hit the subscribe button. We got more stuff coming for you this October. It's going to be a fun time. In the meanwhile, be good, do good. I'm out.